Oh my god, this film was everything I wanted it to be and more. Okay, so my take out from this film is the less you know, the better. So I'm going to keep this spoiler free because there were moments when I was watching the film I was just thinking, wow, I really wish I hadn't seen that in a trailer, because that would have been great just to see for the first time on the big screen. So I'm going to try and keep this brief, but just know that overall this film is fantastic. Please, if you have any interest in superhero films or the Avengers or Marvel or anything, just go and see this as soon as possible before anything gets spoiled or you see anything you wish you didn't, because just knowing as little as possible and seeing it for the first time in all its grandeur is amazing. Okay, brief summary. Some people now see the Avengers as vigilantes because of all the catastrophe that's kind of surrounding them and the amount of innocents that have unfortunately died while they're saving the friggin' world. So the government wants this kind of registration order that makes it so the Avengers can only travel and work when the governments of these countries want them to. And then meanwhile there's the tricky Winter Soldier issue. That damn Bucky Barnes. And all that craziness that surrounds the Winter Soldier, as you would expect it to surround the Winter Soldier. One of my biggest concerns going into this film was that everyone was calling it Avengers 2.5 before it came out, and I was just really worried that there wasn't going to be enough Cap. It was just really going to be Avengers 2.5, and I am so happy it wasn't. Cap and Bucky are the centre of this film. Everything revolves around them, basically. The issue seems like it would cover all of the Avengers equally, but really this is Cap's issue, and it really does not shove him to the side at all. Because it's still nice getting all these developments for all the other Avengers like Scarlet Witch or Vision, while having this story still a Captain America story. This film does not really pull any punches. Right from the beginning, it's straight away action, action, action. The fight scenes were just some of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. They're very quick, they're so slick, there's just so much flying around and kicking and punching and other things. But the airport scene that everyone talks about is frigging amazing. This is going to be one of those scenes that people look back on in the future and say, you know what, if you want to do an action scene, not even a comic book action scene, just an action scene in general, that's what you look at. That is a shining example of how to do an action scene. And what was really heartbreaking about this film was that these guys are friends. These guys work together to save lives. And here they are facing off. Here they are having to fight each other, stare each other down, and you can tell they don't want to be there, but they have to, and it's just heartbreaking. But at the same time, it's comical. They've managed to make it funny, even when these guys are fighting, these people that you never want to see fight, because they're the Avengers, they're the good guys. The good guys shouldn't fight each other. But even when they do, it is funny. And it's just the dynamics between all these characters, even the ones that we haven't met before, is just so slick and so great to watch that it kind of takes away from the intensity of the fight, which I think you kind of need in a film like Captain America Civil War. And the little cameos were great. Ant-Man had better writing in this film than he did in Ant-Man. And I'm going to say this right now. I've seen one film with this kid, but I will say new Spidey is best Spidey. Spider-Man is, oh my god, Spider-Man has been my favourite superhero since I was like this tall, lower than the camera goes, and I've just wanted to see him with the Avengers for so long, and just, it was amazing. This Spider-Man is amazing, and I love Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker's. But Tom Holland, man, this kid is great. This film also makes you realise how screwed the Avengers would be without Scarlet Witch. How have they survived this long without her? She's amazing. I really love Scarlet Witch. She's slowly becoming one of my favourites. I think Black Widow's fight scenes are probably the strongest because she's a freaking secret agent. Like, she can fling herself around, no problem. And when you can fling yourself around like Black Widow, there are no limits to what fight scenes you can create. It's all flippy and topsy-turvy, and not gonna lie, some of it made me feel a bit nauseous, but that was okay. It was good choreography, so I dealt with it, I put up with it. And this film had a really simple but great plot. Sometimes I feel like some of the Marvel movies are a little bit overcomplicated. This one was not that film. This film was simple, you knew what it was trying to do, you knew what aims these characters had, and it dealt, and it delivered, and it was just so simple to follow, but and so intriguing to find out all the kind of twists and turns in the story. Couple of emotional moments, won't say what, but couple of emotional moments. I feel like when you have a universe that's established and a budget this big and directors as great as Anthony and Joe Russo, you're not gonna have a bad film. It's kind of impossible. Because with that sort of money, the fight scenes are always gonna look great, the costumes are always gonna look great, special effects are always gonna look great. And that's why I kind of love blockbusters. Because you know, well, most of the time, you know they're gonna deliver. This one did. Oh, it's killing me not to spoil. It's killing me not to spoil. But just know, this film is worth it. This film is worth every penny of your money. This film is worth going to see more than once. This film is just a spectacle and is a massive milestone in cinematic history, I'd say. Not just superhero, not just Marvel, cinematic history. It's great. Great performances all round. Great script, funny dialogue, even in the most tense of situations. Great fight choreography. All round brilliant. Don't have a fault. I genuinely don't have a fault. I just don't. So tempted to give it a 10 out of 10. So tempted. Oh, I've just thought of something I didn't like at all, but spoilers, so can't talk about it. So 9.5. There we go. Maybe, I don't know if you've seen it, maybe you might be able to figure out what I'm talking about that I didn't like. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just picky with my storylines and my characters. But okay, 9.5. I found something. I just can't talk about it. This sucks. So while I was missing my favourite Avenger, Bruce Banner, didn't matter. This film was fantastic. The characters are fantastic. I want to see them all together again sooner than Infinity War. But you know what? We've got others to keep us satisfied along the way. So let's just enjoy those. Doctor Strange, I'm talking about you.